mentioned here, and I'll say a few more things. This is, of course, a tremendous honor that was bestowed on me here today, and I feel it on my shoulders, given the name of the chair, because Bert Fung, as has been stated, was a giant in the field and was a founding father of this department. I have a little bit hard time talking about myself, so I'm not going to say much about myself. I'd rather that others do that, and I had many nice things said about me here today. But I would say, and this was somewhat inspired by Bert Fung and YC Fung. We used to actually know him often as YC, so I'm going to refer to him as YC or Bert, but that's okay. He described how lucky he was to be able to come to the United States and how many opportunities he was afforded as he went through the different universities, how lucky he was to achieve what he had achieved. And I must say that the same thing is true for me, that I feel extraordinarily lucky to be in the position that I am in today and the opportunities that I have been afforded. I'm born and raised in Iceland, came here for education, and no intention of staying here, want to go back to Iceland. Many of you have been there now. It's such a popular destination these days. And at the time, there was a shortage of engineering professors, probably because they were underpaid at the time. And I was encouraged to try one of those positions, and I said, sure, why not? I'll try it for a few years, right to the University of Michigan, and here I am a few decades later, and I'm still doing it. And I like proverbs and sayings, and one of my favorite Viking proverbs is loosely translated as, no one knows one's life until it's over. In other words, there are always surprises ahead. You never know how it's actually going to turn out, and that's what happened to me. So let's talk a little bit about YC Fung, that I tend to call YC rather than Bert. He was a very positive influence in my life. He was both a role model as well as a very inspiring and thoughtful colleague. As has already been stated, he was a founding father of the bioengineering department, came down here from Caltech in the mid-60s and started the department, and as was also stated, drove it to become one of the leading departments in the country. And a big part of that was, of course, was to hire Shu Chen here and drove the department to even greater heights. I did join in 1995, as mentioned. I think I was the 7th faculty member that joined the department. I did just before, as Adam stated. YC greeted me with open arms, shared his wisdom and experience with me, and he was just a great colleague. And he comes from a generation of engineers that is kind of hard to describe today, very high standards, pretty aggressive in the teaching, making sure the student learned what they were supposed to learn, and some other attributes I mentioned in a moment. 10 years before I joined, YC had written a proposal for an engineering research center. I believe it was in the mid to late 80s, and he picked the field tissue engineering. These proposals came out to inspire long-term thinking and long-term planning in engineering. And I was hired in part to help build that program. And clearly he was a visionary, because today, tissue engineering, stem cells, regenerative medicine is a rapidly growing field. So those are some comments on Bert Fung. I could probably spend a long time talking about him if I had the time. But let's see, this is a clicker for the slides. So let me just show you a couple of slides, maybe to put some frame on what we are planning to